Hi there, it's been a minute and we have been busy. The Cougar build is well underway. I can go ahead and put some clips in here of some of the destruction that's gone on, but so far we've completely gutted the interior. The cabinets are gone, the ceiling is gone as you've seen. I'm just about done wrapping up the wiring, and before I button everything back up and we start kind of turning that corner and putting this thing back together, I thought it'd be a good time to go ahead and do a quick walkthrough of where we're at on the build, some of the things we did, why we did them, and then a little bit of an outlook towards what's next until we put out another video. I figure it's easiest to start from the door, walking in the trailer, just so you can kind of get an idea of the new layout. We changed a few things, and it's going to make it so much better. So we'll go ahead and get started with coming through the front door. And once you're through the front door, if you remember, there was our kitchen cabinets here. There was a little bit of a peninsula as well. So going into the kitchen area, a lot of this is staying the same. So we're still going to have a sink here, and then we still have our water heater and our furnace and our panel. So I'm going to be building custom cabinets for this whole space here. And then, as you can see, the fridge is gone, and we're moving that over so that we no longer will have the propane fridge. And then we'll have uppers above this window here, and we're going to try to maintain the original roof vent as well, or excuse me, the exhaust vent for the what was the microwave. Now it's just going to be a hood for the cooktop. We'll be doing a 2-burner gas cooktop. The sink will be over here, and then we'll just have countertop all the way to about where the furnace is, and then this is where the fridge is going to be. So we will be going to a residential fridge. We're mostly stationary, so residential just makes the most sense. They're more affordable and just easier to use in the long term. And then these wires here, these are going to kind of hide in the cabinet. This is all going to be cinched up. This is actually a roof vent. So when you run a propane evaporation, I guess they're ammonia evaporation refrigerators, you have a vent on the backside which ventilates the backside of the fridge, and then the air actually moves up the back wall and then exhausts out that ceiling right there. So that's an important feature of the ammonia evaporation fridges, or propane electric, whichever you want to call them. So anyways, we're going to be blocking that off. We're going to leave that open because we have a gray tank vent for the galley that needs to go out that way. So that's going to stay. Upper cabinets, like I said, over these windows. And that's pretty much the kitchen in a nutshell. There's way more to it, but I'll be building a custom cabinet set for this area, and we'll move on to the back. In this back area, this actually was a bunk room. I think somewhere in this space here, there was a wall. And no matter what we did, we just couldn't get the wall to sit right. We just felt like it was really closed off. It was hard to get enough, square footage in that space in order for it to become for adults. So this was a bunk room. We're actually switching it over to like a master open floor plan concept, which we feel is the best move for this trailer because it's only about 30 feet, so that's going to be our approach on that. We'll have a day bed down here. It's going to be under the window, so we maintain the emergency exit. And then right on the window, we're going to have more cabinetry. It's going to go over towards the fridge, and that's going to be a closet. So we'll have 2 doors, as many drawers as we can fit. So that's where all of our clothes will go. And then this back wall will end up being a TV in this rectangle here. We'll have a spot for a sound bar, so I have all the wiring for that. Left and right of the window, or his and her side of the bed, I'm going to have a charger, a 110 USB charger, as well as 12 volt for a sconce light. So as you can see, I've went through and added all that wiring. And then here as well, another 12 volt for a sconce light. We have a charger here. And all of this wiring here, it's kind of it's a secret. We've been trying to figure out how to make it work, and we're kind of to the point where we have to move forward, not knowing exactly how we're going to acquire what we need. But the idea we have is that we'll have that day bed on this side. On this side, we're going to have a desk with some drawers in the corner over the water pump. And the idea we've had is to actually add a happy jack. So if you know of toy haulers, how toy haulers have the beds that go up and down. So we're going to try to do that in this space because we felt like putting a queen size bed in here would just completely take out any ability we had to have a functional room. So I decided that it would be a really cool idea to put in a happy jack. So that's what we're going to do. So it will kind of lower the height here of when the bed is up. This will be a shorter room. But like I said, you'll either be sitting over here or you'll be at the desk. So that height doesn't really matter. And really, if you look at it in schemes of like this slide here, it's going to be about the height of this slide when the bed is all the way up. So it's going to work out really good. And so part of that is I had to do some research on the structure of these walls, make sure they can handle the rails, but then also I had to run some wiring. So I ran 10 gauge here. So here's a 10 gauge 12 volt wire. This is going to run the motor assembly for the happy jack. I ran I had Cat 6 wire, but this is Ethernet wire, but it doesn't matter. You just need a control wire, and this is going to be for the button that makes it go up and down. So that wire there runs to this jumble over here, which has a lot going on. But this is the other side of that cable, which is going to allow us to move the happy jack up and down. Also in this jumble, we have, this is the, I guess this wire here is going to be the lights on the ceiling, and then I have these labeled as well. So this is for a vent fan. So this is because this fan here, well, it's just an opening right now, but while I have the roof down, it made sense to just run 12 volt in case I ever want to add like a fantastic fan or some sort of ventilation fan there. I got 12 volt power. In addition to the vent fan, we have another light circuit, and this is for actually under the bed, because once the bed platform is up in the on the ceiling, it's going to block all the lights. So the underside of the new bed platform is going to have two lights exactly like what's on the ceiling, and then also we're going to have like an underglow LED strip on the bed as well. So that's the chunk. That's a big chunk of the wiring here, and there's some power as well. So that's going to be the bed situation. These are going to come down and be wall outlets. So I have power and then Ethernet, which I'll talk about in a second. So I'll have power and Ethernet running to the desk here. Then this will be a desk, but this is actually going to be a drop desk, the drop leaf desk. Everything except for the corner drawers there, it's going to drop down. So that way, if you want to come in this space, you have the day bed to sit. We'll have some cozy like folding chairs. They'll kind of go in this area, and then we can sit and watch TV, and this just becomes a transitional space. So never really seen it done before in a fifth wheel, but we thought it'd be a fun thing to try, and it's going to work for us really well. So that's on the list. And then also for like electrical stuff, this is an older trailer. It's a 2005, and on these that you actually had the power cord you just pushed into like a cavity under the bunk. And so I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have that coming in the trailer. So I'm actually going to be swapping that out, that black cord. I'm going to swap it out to an outdoor receptacle and then put a plug on the cable. So then you just plug the trailer in from the outside instead of having a fixed wire like this. Also with this wiring here, I am going to have to build like a false pillar that it'll envelop all of that wiring. And then also to kind of hide that pillar, right here we're going to have like a heavy duty curtain on a track, so that way if we want some privacy in this room for ourselves, we'll have it. So we'll have a curtain here to kind of hide all of that. This slide here, the slide trim detail, we're going to just kind of do something basic to start, but we have ideas for that in the future. I'll be building a bench over here, and that bench will be a storage bench. I'll have a drawer that comes out, but it'll be a bench in that area with an outlet. Round table, 2 chairs, couch. Pretty simple, nothing really special in the slide here. And moving on from the slide, which is going to be over here, we also have this cabinet. So this was like a TV. No, it wasn't a TV. It had like a monster stereo in it, and it just took up tons of space. And I tore that out when we first got the trailer. But this is going to be kind of an extension of the kitchen in some ways. So what we're going to end up doing here is we are going to build some more cabinetry in this area. So it's going to have drawers, or excuse me, it's going to have a fireplace on the right side of the base. So I'll have a fireplace on this side. It's an 18-inch by 24-inch fireplace. And then on the left side, we're going to have just a door for storage. And then there'll be a countertop. The microwave will have a kind of like an appliance area. So we'll have the microwave, the hot kettle, toaster. It's all going to live on this countertop. And then we'll have an upper cabinet just for more storage. And you'll notice here I have this jumble of cables, which that is actually, those are Cat 5e Ethernet cables. And pretty much what that is something that I noticed. It's kind of, if you've ever traveled and you worked remotely, you know how hard it is to get good not cell signal, but just good Wi-Fi. So I know there's a lot of areas that I was in where if you understand Wi-Fi, like you have like your modem or your source of internet coming in. And let's say your source is only, say, 30 megabits per second down, which is good enough. You can do most things at 30 megabits per second. Now, the problem is if you're distributing that 30 megabits per second throughout your trailer via Wi-Fi, you're going to lose. You're going to have a percentage loss. So depending on a lot of variables, the Wi-Fi router you have, also the interference. So for example, if you have 100 trailers in an RV park and the RV park is they're distributing, say, 2.4 or 5 gigahertz internet, and you're using that, and say you bring into your trailer and then you repeat it throughout your trailer, and then every other RV, say if there's 100 RVs, maybe there's 60 of those RVs that are also distributing 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. And then there's only so many channels. So anyways, there's a lot of interference. So that 30 megabits you're getting into your trailer going through Wi-Fi and all the interference, it could go down to 15 or so. It might get cut in half. So anyways, when I was doing this trailer, I had the roof down already, the ceiling panels, and I figured, heck, why not just hardwire as much as I can. So what I ended up doing was, wire's cheap. So I have a wire. I have one going to the rear desk. I have another one going to the rear TV. I have another cable going to the front TV. And then I have another wire going over to that jumble of wires over there. And the purpose of that one is an external jack. So like if you have a scenario where you have really good internet available to you and you can actually use an Ethernet cable to bring it in, you can actually use this line to get that into your trailer. And then up on here, so I'm in this cabinet, I'm going to have, a couple shelves, I'll have power, and then I'll just have the ports in a plate with all these Ethernet cables, and that's going to allow me to hardwire as much things as possible. And then I'll also still have a Wi-Fi router. It'll be for cell phones, just the basic stuff. There won't be as much stuff on that network. Most of the big consumers are going to be hardwired. So that's that nook there. We'll move on to the back side of it. Lots of wiring happening here. Something about like reworking the RV is I actually had to rework a lot of the electrical just to do that. So for example, like this is some 12-2 Romex, and this is for the microwave circuit. So it's on its own. And then the fireplace, obviously, this didn't have a fireplace previously. So I ran a new 15 amp circuit for the fireplace. And that way we don't have issues with, breakers blowing or anything like that. And then we have our normal outlets. And so I'll have an outlet, a couple up top for the network stuff I said I needed to plug in. And then this is actually going to be, if you remember, before, this was a bathroom. Well, this is the toilet. So you had a little toilet room here, which was if you're sitting on the toilet, your head was against the wall. It was super small. So we got rid of that, and I'm going to move the toilet. So these blue lines, after tearing everything apart, these blue lines are the new walls. So I actually had to kind of resheet and get this floor flat. You'll notice I also did replace all the flooring as well. This is all new sheet vinyl flooring. So this is replaced. But back to these walls, we're going to be putting a wall here. And then also this wall here is going to continue. And then it's going to go towards there. And then once it hits that platform, there'll be a wall on top. So this is the new bathroom. You can see we have the shower. The vanity will be over there. The toilet will be right here. And then there'll be a sliding door that slides towards me here. And it's going to be a pocket door. So that's going to be the new bathroom. And for this area, we have this new wall. And this is kind of we just flushed out the design last night. So pretty much what this is going to be, it's going to be like a 6-inch deep wall, and it'll go all the way to the floor here. And the whole purpose of this wall is on this side, we're going to have a couple of doors for storage. So we'll have doors at this height, and then doors up high as well. I'm putting an outlet in there, so we're thinking like maybe like iPads and stuff for charging we can put up in that space. And then on the back side of this wall, we're going to have hooks. So we'll have hooks on the back side of the wall. So that way the coats and stuff are hidden behind there. So that's just a new feature there. This is actually a hatch. If you see, I can't really open it right now. Hold on. So this actually opens, and that's a hatch down to the belly. So we use that for like shoe storage and things like that. So that's kind of like our little shoe pit. We'll put all our shoes down there, and we'll go upstairs. All right, upstairs is going to be pretty basic. So like I said, toilet's going to go over here. This is a new 36 by 36 shower pan. And then as far as the walls are concerned, we're going to be giving Duma Wall a shot. If you haven't heard of it, it seems like a really good product. So this will all get Duma Wall. I have all new fixtures, all new Moen fixtures and valves and everything for the shower. And then we'll have a radius curtain rod to put a curtain up. And then on this side, we're actually going to be putting a vanity. So I'll be building a vanity, and it's going to be a little bit deeper than usual because I'm trying to figure out how there'll be a wall right here, and then we'll have our mirror. And my thought is that we can, Emily had this idea to have a pull out on the back side of the glass. So like have a void behind the glass and have a pull out, and that's your, that'll be your like medicine cabinet. Essentially, it's going to be behind the mirror. So that'd be a cool cabinet. Just got to get that built. Up in this area, this is going to be real simple as well. We'll have a wall going to here, and then we're going to have a pocket door that opens up. And then this is going to become a bunk room. So pretty small, but there's a lot of light in this room. So currently the plan is we'll have a bed on the base there. It'll be like 6 to 8 inches off the OSB sheeting there, because I'm going to put a couple drawers in. So I have a bed here, another bed, like a bunk bed over on top of that. Over here, we're thinking like a toddler size bed that'll also be raised, and they'll have drawers under it as well. So that'll be clothing for the kids. And then, as you can see, another Ethernet cable, power. So the TV will be on this side of the wall. And then here's the light switch. As far as the lighting is concerned, because I knew that I wanted to change up the lighting, if you remember, like there was literally like one light in each room. It was a 2-bulb incandescent, 12-volt fixture, really yellow lighting, not inviting, not good light. So what I ended up doing was I knew I wanted to switch that lighting out, and in order to do so, I knew that the holes where that existing lighting was, I'd have to patch them, and I had to rerun all new wires to add new lights. So ultimately, that's why I came up with the idea to just drop the ceiling, run all my wiring, get my lights mocked up, and then put new paneling up on the top. So there's a little bit of a cost to that, and obviously time, but it's made wiring this thing so easy, and it made me able to do things that I would never have been able to do. So part of doing new lighting, I obviously had to add like new light circuits for each room because I moved the rooms around. So Like for instance, like this is the bathroom, and like here will be a wall. So this yellow wire here is the new switch for the bathroom, and then over here this was a switch for the bedroom, but now this switch is for what will be the hallway lights. And down in this main area, same thing, got a bunch of lights. And in this jumble here, we have, I think it's that one, yeah. So this will be the main lights here. And to address this as well, so that's the lights. So also in this cabinet, there'll be like a filler, like a 6-inch filler along the wall here. And that's gonna house vertically all of these switches. So I'll have the switches for the lighting. So I have like the interior lighting, the scare lighting, the door security light. We have the water heater control. We have the slide controller. Also, we'll have like the tank level and water pump switch are in there. And then we're replacing the awning. So we'll have an awning in and out switch, and then a light switch for the awning. So lots going on there. And it's just going to be a vertical stack of controls, so it's less intrusive. But other than that, that's the big update. That's kind of everything that's been going on. I wish I would have done more time lapses, but I figure at least getting to see an RV at this stage is, you don't see this very often. A lot of people don't go this far, but I've just been, my wife Emily and I have both just felt called to, do something different. And we will be living in this trailer for a while. It answers a need for us because we're starting a business and we're trying to live really affordably. So this is just, we know how to RV, so we're going to keep RVing, and once this is done, we're going to move into it, and that's kind of why we're taking a little more effort, making a little more effort on the details, just to kind of make it something cool and fun and beautiful for us to live in. But if you ever consider dropping your ceiling, one thing that was unforeseen, but we've already fixed it, was the ceiling, the sheeting for the ceiling actually rests on top of these walls, and you can't get it out. So I had to use my multi-tool and cut along the wall here to get the ceiling panels down. But what that left was a void. So all of these strips, I think there's probably like 50 of these. So you'll see these little 3/4 inch strips of plywood that I've tacked in here, and they're all tight fit. I had to add all those for nailers so that when I put the new paneling back up on the ceiling, I have something to nail into. Also, if you've ever had like the trim up on the ceiling there, if you've ever had that fall down, a lot of times it's because when they shoot there, they use like 18 gauge, 1.5 2-inch nails, and they shoot that trim in. When they do it, they miss a lot. So a lot of those nails aren't sinking into anything. So with what I did, I know exactly what's there, and I can shoot these on and not have any issue with the panels. So that's going to be it's kind of a quick update. I'm out of breath, and I'm going to get back to work. So we got a little bit of a marathon going on right now, trying to get this done so we can live in it. But we're very excited. This is definitely a huge undertaking. But with everything going on in the world and the current state of things, we just felt like, we're called to start a business. We're called to, become entrepreneurs and pursue that. But at the same time, we know that the only way to do that is to live well within our means, live cheaply. And RVs are a great alternative for that. So that's always part of our message. If you follow us on Instagram, you'll know that that's a lot of what we talk about, is how important it is for people to open their minds to RVing and see it as an alternative lifestyle that is and can be very, very profitable. It can save you a lot of money. In our case, with our family, we're so used to living in 300-400 square feet that we get really uncomfortable in large spaces. And I know that sounds totally crazy because we used to have a 1,600 square foot house. But for us, it brings our family close together. It allows us to get to know each other better, and it just keeps us all really tight. So that's our story. That's what's going on right now. That's our update. And I'll continue to post as we have time. Because we're on such a short timeline, these will definitely be a delayed release, but I just felt like I couldn't keep moving forward without starting to document a little more of what's going on and what the process looks like. And especially as we start putting things back together, there'll be a lot of fun things to share. We're adding a lot of cool features, so stay tuned for that. And if you like this video, if it gives you value, I know there's a lot of talking, but it's very informational. If you like it, make sure you like the video. If you see anything interesting or any ideas or maybe something I missed, make sure you leave that in the comments down below, just so you can maybe you can help us out a little bit in this build. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. We just hit 9,000 subscribers on this channel. I'm not sure how that happened, but it's, I guess, when you are sharing your life and you're sharing something that's really unique, I can see how that would be really a big draw for people to watch. So thank you so much to all of you that are watching, and we'll see you in the next video.